Yo, so how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another GTA 5 video. So a couple weeks ago I put together a video showing you guys the top 3 best ways to make money in GTA 5 online, and going off the feedback, a bunch of you guys really seemed to enjoy that video, as there was at least one method that all of you guys could grind out and stack up a bunch of money in no time. However, truth be told, some of the methods in that video have changed or they've been updated, so I thought I'd go ahead and make somewhat of an updated version to that video, seeing as so many of you guys really did enjoy it. So as always, if you guys do enjoy this video or it does help you guys out in any way, shape or form, and you would like to see me cover more GTA 5 money guides in the future, all I ask is you do return the favor by dropping a like down below, and if you guys are new around here, feel free to subscribe as I do post daily GTA 5 videos. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so coming in for the very first money making method, and that is how to beat this week's brand new time trial. It will earn you guys a very nice 100k, and it only takes 2 minutes to complete. So this week's time trial is called Observatory, and obviously does take place at the observatory. It does have a part time of only 2 minutes 4 seconds, so you guys really have nothing to lose out by going ahead and trying out this week's new time trial. I don't believe you'll do it in your first 3 attempts. It might take a few runs to get used to it, but as you guys will see in this video, unlike previous time trials where they could look pretty easy, but when it comes down to doing it, they are pretty hard, this one looks very straightforward because it is pretty much very straightforward. So as always, make your way over to the time trial. You want to go ahead and start the time trial so you can now see the finish line. Now once you guys can see the finish line, you just simply want to set a waypoint, so when you respawn back in, you now have a waypoint to the finish line. Even though a waypoint is very unnecessary for this time trial because the route is so goddamn easy to memorize, but nonetheless set a waypoint anyway, just so you don't go too off track. So as always, I would suggest you guys go ahead and use your fastest motorbike that you have. I will talk about the best motorbikes to use for this time trial once I've actually done it. However, I don't want to talk about that right now because I just want to get straight into the time trial. Don't want to waste any more of you guys' time. Have your bike parked up as I do on screens, have your front wheel outside the circle, pop a wheelie as soon as you start this time trial. Now as soon as you start the time trial, stick to the right side of this dirt path, try and pop a wheelie if you can, another one while going up this little mini hill. However, you can just lean forward by holding down X on the PlayStation or A on the Xbox. Now jump straight up this hill and go slightly to the right, and you guys will notice it's like an in-dip dirt path in between the 2 trees. If you simply follow this, it will lead up to a stunt jump, which is going to lead us straight onto the opposite dirt path over this road, as you guys can see. Now as soon as you guys land a stunt jump, move to the left by about 1 inch, or else you will bounce off this rock, as you can see. Now from here, all you guys want to do is lean forward and follow this entire dirt path. You can do a few wheelies in between if you're feeling confident like I just done. However, you don't really need to do a wheelie for this part. Just keep following this dirt path. Now as soon as you guys see this little dirt path going to the right and cut across the grass, and you guys should notice a big pole in the distance, you want to be on the left side of that pole so you can jump straight back onto the road. As you guys can see, pull a few wheelies to increase your speed. Now if you guys look at my mini map in the bottom left, you'll see that there's 2 little lines sticking out on this road. You want to take a left just before those 2 lines, as you can see me doing on screen. You should then be coming towards Trevor's runway. Now once you guys arrive at Trevor's runway, it's very straightforward from here. Just cut straight across it, as you can see me doing on screen. Now as you guys can see, I'm so glad this happened to me. I was experiencing major lag throughout the entire day, to the point where, as you guys can see, my entire lobby got lagged out, and I was still able to complete this time trial straight away very easily. So you guys really have no excuses this week. Now once you guys get onto this part, you're basically just following the waypoint from here. This is just a straight road to the finish line, and obviously because you guys are in Blaine County, you ain't getting that much traffic at all. As you guys can see, that the most cars you'll see on any one side of the road anytime is 1. You'll never get like 2 cars directly crossing each other. So if you guys can't do a wheelie, just lean forward in between the cars, as you can see me doing on screen. Nonetheless, if you guys do watch my time trials every week, then you'll know at this point of the time trial I'm usually doing much more wheelies than I actually am. And I'm going to be honest with you here, because we've got such a head start at the start of the race by following that dirt track, you don't even have to do a wheelie for this part. So I know a lot of you guys maybe struggle to hold wheelies for more than 5-6 seconds. Just keep popping little small wheelies in between, and this time trial is still very easily doable. However, moving on to the second best money making method, and that is by using a very specific trick that will allow you guys to beat the survival game modes very easily, which are currently offering double money and double RP. So you guys can make a ton of money and RP by just simply doing the trick that I'm about to show you guys on screen. Of course, the objective of these survivals is to basically complete 10 waves of enemies while remaining in the same area. Now of course, depending on your skill level will depend on how easy you guys find these survivals. The higher rank you are, the more weapons you have, you're probably going to find these a lot more easier. However, the tactic I'm going to be showing you in today's video can be done by any of you guys straight away, and it's extremely easy. So the very first thing you guys want to do is when you log on to GTA 5 online, head over to any ammunition and stock up 25 tear gas. So once you guys have stocked up on as much tear gas as possible, you want to press start, go down to survivals, and you want to launch the survival known as the Sandy Survival, the exact same one you can see on screen. Now what we are actually going to be doing is tricking the game into spawning the NPCs or the enemies on the location exactly where we're going to be dropping the tear gas. So what that's going to do is basically eradicate or take out all of the enemies immediately before you guys even have to shoot a bullet. Now there is a few tips and tricks I'm going to make sure that I cover in this video, so all of you guys don't make any mistakes when doing this, because it is very easy to mess up if you guys do make a few basic mistakes. So the very first thing you guys want to do is you want to run over to this location you can see on screen and drop 2 tear gas right by this fence and this gate. Now what you guys want to make sure you do, the very first point is make sure you do this very quickly, because you guys will have to run all the way back over to this red room and aim your gun at the corner. By doing so, it's going to make the enemy spawn behind us right under tear gas. However, if you guys are slow like I do here in wave 1, then what that will actually do is trigger the enemies to spawn in front of you, therefore wasting your tear gas. So like I said, make sure you guys have got the tear gas laid down on this corner very quickly, and you're able to run back to this corner just so you guys can spawn the enemies on your tear gas exactly the same way I show you guys this time. So as you guys can see, I dropped 2 tear gas down right by this location, run straight back over to the red room, pull out my gun, and I simply want to aim at this corner. And as you guys can see in the bottom right, my tear gas is just picking off these enemies one by one without me shooting a single bullet. Now of course it is worth mentioning, as the waves do go on, the enemies will get stronger, so you guys will get a few odd stragglers that are running away from the tear gas. Simply just pick them guys off. They're very easy to kill because you're going to be taking out so many enemies in one big go. These guys, like I said, a few bullets or a shotgun and you're easily able to take them out. Now of course, if you guys aren't able to make it back in time, this red section is also a very good area in case you guys do mess up the tear gas, just to hold off, because you can put sticky bombs around this area, pull up your interaction menu, pull up your snacks, and as these guys are shooting you, just keep replenishing your health, because eventually what will happen is Rockstar Games of course will spawn in cars and helicopters in the survival, so you guys will have to be ready to quickly pull out a noob tube and just blow those up. They're very easy to take out. I'm sure the majority of you guys by now know how to take out a helicopter, especially if you own a homing launcher. This is really basic stuff, but like I said, a very awesome tactic that I thought I'd have to share with you guys today. However, coming in for the third best money making method, and that is by grinding out the double money and double RP that Rockstar Games are currently offering on all of the MOC missions. Now I'm not going to cover all of the MOC missions in this video, however what I will do is fully break down how the payouts work for these missions depending on the time spent, the players in your game, as well as what I personally think is the best mission to grind out. Did mention, these are the MOC missions, so you guys will need to own an MOC in order to actually launch these missions. So as I already mentioned earlier on, you can join one of my crews and find some players that way, but also if you guys do join my crew, you're better off also leaving a comment underneath this video. You can say need MOC followed by your platform and whether or not you've got a mic, because I know certain players only like to play with other players who've got mics. And likewise, if you guys actually own an MOC, you can say I own an MOC looking to grind this out, need associates. And also don't forget to leave your gamer tag as well as your PSN so people can find you easily. Now like I said, I know certain players only like to grind out methods with other players who've got mics, but I guarantee as long as all of you guys have watched this video all the way through, you won't even need a mic to grind this out. It's so goddamn easy and straightforward. Once everyone knows what they're doing, it's practically impossible to fail. So obviously the person who's going to be hosting the MOC missions does need to make their way inside the MOC, go up to the little screen and press right on the D-pad just so you guys can do what I'm doing on screen and launch one of the missions. Now as you guys can see, there is 8 different missions you guys can choose from, so I know a lot of you guys are going to be thinking what is the best mission to actually grind out for money in RP, and it is actually the 5th mission, the MOC mission called Cover Blown. Trust you me guys, I've smashed out all of these missions several times, and in fact I do actually have gameplay of me completing every single one of these MOC missions on my channel, so if you guys do want to go and check those out, do feel free to. Now once you guys are in the setup menu, obviously you want to change the difficulty to hard so you get that 1.5 extra cash and RP, and then from here go ahead and invite your 3 friends into the game. Now as you guys can see in the bottom right, it does only require 1 other player to launch this mission. However, you guys will be receiving bonuses for every other player that you have in your game, which I will talk about later on in the video. However, it is worth mentioning you're better off just trying to invite as many people in here as possible, because you aren't going to have no advantage by doing it with just 2 players. It isn't the type of mission where another player can actually fail the mission for you, which I know is pretty rare coming from someone that's played a lot of GTA 5 over the last 2 years. I do remember those days when I used to grind out contact missions with noobs and I had to rely on them to do one basic thing and they kept on just failing it. That shit right there will trigger any man. I don't care how fucking experienced you are at the game. The fact that a random player can't fail the mission for you in the mission is such a massive benefit in my mind. However, go ahead and launch the mission once you guys have got 4 players in your game. Now this mission, like I said, is by far, hands down, in my personal opinion, feel free to disagree with me down low in the comment section if you don't agree with me. This is hands down the easiest MOC mission you guys can select. You're basically just going to deliver an MOC from one spot, as you guys can see here, right near Trevor's Runway, all the way down to the docks. Now this drive alone only takes about 5 minutes, and that is being very generous. I'm saying 5 minutes including a bunch of crashes and stops and fails like you guys just saw at the start of the video. I pressed start there, but as I was saying, all it requires is for one of you, in this case it's me, to get inside the driver's seat, and then your 3 friends can mount the guns inside the MOC, and then it's practically a walk in the park, as you guys are about to see. Now I'm actually going to fast forward this gameplay to save you guys time, but what you guys will notice is in the bottom right, once you guys encounter your first enemies, you'll get 2 bars. It will say enemy lock on and then speed. So basically you can't let the MOC go under a certain amount of speed before the enemies lock onto you. Now this sounds much worse than it actually is. I remember when Rockstar Games first released these missions, I almost thought this was like the movie Speed, where you know they're on the bus and as soon as they come to a stop the things is going to self-explode. I actually think there's another adversary mode with a similar theme to that, but this isn't the case for this mission whatsoever. I fully tested this method out to see how long can I like sit there until these enemies lock on and take me out, and you guys have all seen the gameplay. I practically come to a full stop right here, as you guys can see on screen, for a long time, and the enemies didn't take me out. I even go ahead and press start to see if there's any enemies around me, and there clearly was. So you guys don't have to worry about crashing into a wall and coming to a full stop and then exploding. The mission really isn't that hard like I initially thought that it would be. I've at least played this mission about 7-8 times and not died once. I've not seen the MOC to get destroyed once, so you guys really have to be below level 12 to fail this mission, or just really new to GTA 5. And what you guys would also notice is there is no roadblocks with these vehicles whatsoever right until the end, where there's one. And you also will notice is that the majority of these Pegasus vehicles will come face first with you. So in many cases you're better off telling your friends not to even shoot the vehicles in front of you, because you can just clip off them and glide straight past them. As I'm sure some of you guys might be aware, when you actually shoot or destroy a vehicle and it becomes stagnant, it could just block up the road and it becomes more of a nuisance than you actually just clipping an active vehicle out the way. But either way, whether you get your friends to take out the vehicles or you just want to drive straight through them, this mission is a walk in the park. And as you guys can see, that is it boys. That is literally the mission done. Just one player driving the MOC from point A to point B with a bunch of your friends in the background just shooting off guns for the hell of it. And if anything, it's actually a pretty fun mission, especially if you're one of the guys sitting in the back. All you got to do is sit on a mounted gun and shoot cars, and you're going to be receiving a shitload of cash. You really have no reason to complain. Now I know some of you guys might be thinking, am I not better off playing the final MOC mission, which is going to be the hardest? And the simple answer to that is no. All of these MOC missions pay exactly the same, so if you guys want to use some common sense very quickly, you're always better off just doing the easiest option, which will cause you guys less stress and earn you guys much more money in the long run. Now if you guys aren't aware, Rockstar Games have updated how these missions do pay out. every single mission, whether it's contact mission, MOC mission, or the special vehicle missions, they're all very much time based now. So the longer you guys wait in the mission, the more money you guys will be receiving. So to make things very clear for you guys so you don't get confused, I put together this graph right here, and this basically indicates the percentage of payout you guys will receive for the amount of time that you spend in the mission. So as you guys can see here, to receive 100% of the pay from the mission, you guys will have to spend a minimum of 15 minutes in the mission, and that will bag you guys a very nice 47k every single time you do that. So that is method 1 of grinding this mission. As you guys can see right here, we was able to actually deliver the MOC in under 5 minutes. So if you want to grind at the AFK method, like if you guys are eating your dinner, you're watching some YouTube videos, or maybe you just want to go and crack a fat shit, you can literally just park up your MOC and be making money for sitting AFK. And just quickly, in case you guys was wondering what my friend's doing throughout that entire mission, I'm going to show you guys their point of view right now. Literally all they had to do was get in the back of an MOC, mount a turret, and just spray it off against everything they can see. You do also get unlimited ammo whilst you're mounted on these turrets, so it is literally a walk in the park. When I tell you guys it is impossible to fail this mission, I mean it is impossible to fail this mission. So taking off where we just left, the first way of grinding this method is just to sit AFK once you deliver the truck, and then you can just go ahead and deliver it, and you'll receive your nice 47k every single time, as well as an epic 7000 RP. However, if you guys take a look at this graph one more time, by spending 6 to 8 minutes, we're going to be receiving 60% of the pay, not 50%, 60%. So if we want to do some very quick maths, 60% of that 100% payout is still over 28k. So let's just say we complete this mission 3 times, that will only take us 18 minutes, so 3 minutes longer than the previous method. However, by completing it 3 times at 6 minutes each, we're going to be bagging an insane $84,000, which I think we can all agree, for only 3 minutes extra work, you're practically going to be earning double than the previous method, which the majority of people are going to be doing out there. You guys really have no reason to complain. Plus, you do also receive around 4,500 RP, so altogether a nice 12,000 RP on top of the 84k every 3 attempts. And the great thing is that this is unlimited. You guys can literally grind this out as much as you want, as long as you want. There is no cap. But as always, you guys know how Rockstar go on. They do watch these videos out there, and they might nerf the pay in the future. So definitely get on and make the most of it while you guys can. And nonetheless, that's going to do it for me, guys. As always, if you guys do support this channel and you do want to see me cover more epic money and RP guides in the future, all I ask is you show support by dropping a like down below. Feel free to subscribe, as I do post daily GTA 5 videos. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.